This is a short presentation about what publishing is. We want to invite you to think about this in light of the magazine project, but also in light of your ePortfolio. So what is publishing or publication? In the case of the magazine, it's a class project, a revision and a collaboration project. You will revise and work and transform some of your work, and then you will collectively publish an e-magazine. That's the collaborative part. But with just a little imagination, we think that you can think bigger. So we want you to think about the magazine project as an opportunity to publish. Most of us think of publishing as something other people do. There's a whole apparatus for publishing, especially books, but also anything in print. It's always been expensive, and therefore the means to publish, especially on any large scale, have not been necessarily available to all of us. But Web 2.0 transforms all of that. Because there are so many platforms easily available, including the ePortfolio platforms that you use, which is also the same kind of platform we're inviting you to use for the magazine. These platforms make it possible for you to put something on this newfangled means of transmission we call the World Wide Web. Web 2.0 makes possible an act of communication for almost all of us. As you know, if you've tried communicating using Web 2.0 tools, sometimes you're more successful than others at finding a public for, say, your blog or an ebook that you've published. It's not necessarily straightforward just because it's on the web, but the act of communication makes possible making your ideas public. So let's think a little bit about that. When you make something public, you create a potential conversation with anyone who might happen upon the writing that you produce and publish on the web. And when you put that writing up on the web, you also create a potential public space. One of the great things about Web 2.0 communication is that it's connected. It allows people to not only publish, but to hear response, to get feedback and comments. So the invitation of the magazine project is the opportunity to circulate your very own texts, the texts that you have written and gotten feedback on already, and have revised, gotten more feedback on, and revised again. It's an opportunity to put those texts into the world and to see what happens. Potentially you get to initiate a discussion. By publishing on the web, you get to create a new digital common space, which is potentially a place where other people can join you and respond to your ideas. You can take part in or initiate a new conversation. Finally, by putting your work into a public space, the web, in a sense you bring your readers into being. That is, you bring them into the public space with you. That's what publication is. It's making something you wrote public. We invite you to think of your magazine in this way.